Welcome, everyone.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Dwayne. And this is
Our Recovery Life.
First and foremost, some shout-outs, some thank yous. The outpouring, the sharing, the subscriptions, all the commenting, all that stuff's been very, very just overwhelming and way cool.
Yeah, and all the activity on the Facebook page has been pretty sweet, too.
Yes, for those of you that joined the Facebook Our Recovery Life group, and if you haven't joined, definitely join. Look up Our Recovery Life in Facebook in the search engine and invite. If you have friends, invite them. It's a place where we're going to put a lot of events and stuff like that coming up. Tonight's topic
is having fun in recovery.
What?
Yeah.
You can do that?
I've done it.
Really?
Yeah.
So, speaking of fun and recovery, what did that look like to you in the beginning?
Before I actually got into recovery?
Like on the cusp.
Oh, man. I kind of felt like, all right, you've made all these mistakes, you've done all this stuff, and so, you burnt up all your bridges, and now you're no more fun,
Done.
Unless you want to go to prison, which doesn't sound like much fun.
It ain't.
So, I was like,
Time to grow old.
Everything that I ever really did was, drinking, playing darts, drinking, go over, help your buddy, drinking, everything started with drinking, and then you figured out what you were going to do.
Yes.
And then later on, it got to be drinking and drugs, and then pretty soon it was just the drugs because the drinking was screwing that up. And
takes too long.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I just figured, it's all over. I remember the first recovery meeting I went to, and I was going down the stairs. I was in the basement of a church.
Nothing down, says fun like basement
like
of
a
church.
basement. Like from one basement to another, I was thinking. So... yeah, going down there, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, finally, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to get off the drugs so I can get back to drinking with my buddies like you're supposed to, like a normal person does.
Normal.
Yeah, and then I found out that alcohol's a drug, apparently. So
great. Yeah. Wrecked that, too.
Yeah, so that was ruined. But I wanted to get off drugs so bad, I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll quit drinking. Whatever it takes to get off the drugs, we'll worry about that later. And somewhere in there, I figured out that pretty much since high school, I was a raging alcoholic. And so...
you too.
Yeah. If it's not one thing, it's another.
100%.
So, yeah, so I thought, game over. Like, this is not going to be any fun at all. And the people that were having fun, I was like, yeah, they're the people that get their little thing signed from the court, and then they're off to the races as soon as we get out of here,
Yep.
But I did find out that wasn't the case. How about for you? What were you thinking when you got in?
When on the cusp, like right at the end in early in recovery, there was a mourning period that actually went on where I just literally thought, get out the cane and the rocking chair and sit and listen to a scanner and watch paint dry, because for so long, my life, and looking back now, my life, everything revolved around chemicals and partying. Someone says they're doing a deck, come on over, invite me to do something. The very first thought was, who's bringing what? Like, what kind of chemicals are there? Not do you need hammers, wood, screws, nails, none of that stuff. Someone invited me somewhere. It was, what's going to be there? Do I need to bring... and usually most people called me because I was the one bringing the stuff. So, I had to go through this mourning period of my perception and my life literally, like you said, revolved around alcohol and drugs. I didn't realize it was that ingrained in my life. So, early on in recovery, I thought, how can I have fun? Because everything, whenever I think of fun, chemicals are the very first thing that literally pops into my head. Right. So it was ingrained really, really deep into my life. So fun as I know it had to be over. I remember the first couple meetings, I go down there and I just kind of sit around and look, and there's these people having fun and laughing and kids running around and they're talking about, they have events that's going on. We're having a camp out here. After the meeting, we're going to go here and do this. And I was just like it didn't comprehend to me. I thought that, those are the people that are faking it and going and drinking and partying.
Right.
Why do you have a barbecue without partying? Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, so I had to break my perception of and my viewpoint of what is actual fun. Like, you can do that stuff without chemicals. So there was a big mourning period, and it was tough. But definitely, I was wrong. And so what does that look like now? What is like recovery and fun? What does that look like now?
Completely different story now. I did definitely find out that was not true. That life was over, and I've made my mistakes, and now I gotta deal with it forever.
Correct.
There's so much stuff to do.
Tons of stuff to do.
Oh, there's like recovery bowling, ski trips, roller skating. Just trying to think of the ones that I've either been to or dances.
You can dance?
No, I definitely can't dance, but I can go to the dance.
Yeah.
And just hang out. And what else? There's just a ton of stuff.
I think for me, there's just unlimited things to do. I think Vermilion. Tell me about Vermilion.
Oh yeah, we had a camp out. I was only in recovery not very long, and I still had the Jeep that I had when
the Jeep.
You remember the Jeep?
I remember the Jeep.
Yeah, so that thing had no muffler. It didn't even have a tailpipe.
Sounded like a jet.
Yeah, it sounded like a jet taking off. And it was all rewired inside. Half the dash was missing, and
no, we call it modified.
Modified. It was actually modified so you could play Guitar Hero in the car while you were driving around.
Why not?
Yeah. So, but it was loud.
Yes.
And we decided that there was 4 of us, and we decided we were gonna pull a boat up there as well.
All right.
Which even put more strain on the engine. And we stopped about halfway at a gas station, and we couldn't even, after we shut the car off, we couldn't even talk to each other because we couldn't hear. Once we got there, it took an hour before I could even hear right. And but yeah, I remember that. I remember we scraped together the money to get up there. We borrowed the boat from my dad. I think we had it in the lake for 20 minutes Sunday morning before we left, just so we didn't waste the trip driving it up there.
We better put it in the
water.
Yeah,
we got to put it in the water at least.
So it was a recovery weekend, like one of the first ones?
Yeah, it was like the first camp out I went to, and it was amazing. I had so much fun.
What were your thoughts going there? Did you know what it was, or
not really? I had heard a lot of stories. We just, everybody's like, you gotta go, and so we went, and yeah, it was so much fun.
The type of stuff you still talk about.
Oh yeah, yep. So yeah, that was good times.
What about recovery weekend? I know you have a
the camp out. Yeah, so I started a little camp out. Mm-hmm. It was a little recovery family that we have. And I think there was like 13 of us, and we went up north and did some camping on the lake. My mom has a house up on the lake, and so we just pitched tents in the yard, and we had a really good time. The next year we decided to do it again, and then there was like 18 of us, and rented some jet skis, and boy, I think this year was year number 6. I think there was 42 or 3 of us, and we had like 4 boats and rented this pontoon that was like a yacht. And
took over mom's
took over mom's house cabin. And so rent some porta potties and stuff and just do
really?
it. Yeah.
So now it's big time.
Yeah, it's serious now. Like there's no screwing around.
So what type of fun do you guys do? Like as far as how did it spread and get that big? As far
well, it's just a tight group of our friends in our little recovery family, and it's just growing over the years. Kind of through sponsorship and that. So yeah.
Obviously, because people had fun.
Oh yeah, like we talk about it's like the thing we look forward to all year long. We talk about it all year long. Whenever we get together, it's like, I can't wait until we go up north this summer. So
let's say my mom doesn't have a lake cabin.
Okay.
Like, what are some other things to do?
Well, we have a trip coming up here.
Oh, yes.
Going up north again.
So it doesn't have to be in the summer.
It does not have to be in the summer.
Okay.
We rented a Airbnb cottage. Well,
Yes, we did.
it's borderline mansion. This place is
Nice.
beautiful. Like the front door is all stone, and you go in and it's got a huge kitchen. It's got this really long table. I'm not even sure how many people it seats. There's going to be 27 of us going.
Sweet.
And there's 27 beds, so we got her filled up.
Nice. Well, let's be honest. We didn't do this.
Yeah, we didn't plan this. It was the girls got together and they couldn't wait for the camp out, so they decided to do something in the winter. So the girls are all over on this one.
So what I'm hearing is that every group has kind of people that are good at that stuff, like the planning committee. So find your people that are kind of the planning committee and say, hey, we're doing this weekend. Let's find something, a camp out, a hotel, whatever.
Right.
Pick a weekend and just start building that and inviting people and kind of just start the tradition.
Right. Oh, for sure. And this place it's huge. It's got a pool table, ping pong, hot tub out back.
Sounds expensive. Like if I'm early in recovery, I can't afford things like $1 million for a weekend.
Right. And it's really not that bad. If we all chipped in and with food, it's going to cost under $100 per person, and that's for 2 nights. And I'm telling you, this place is a pretty nice place. A couple people are bringing their snowmobiles, some snowshoes.
Snowshoes?
Yeah,
This is going to be fun.
I'm interested to find out how fast I can fall on my face on a pair of snowshoes. But, yeah.
So basically, a weekend just away from all of our normal, a bunch of people in recovery getting together, creating memories, getting to know each other better, and just having a blast.
And then you don't have to worry about somebody saying, hey, let's go in the bathroom over here. Or you go somewhere and they're like, hey, let's do a shot. Or you don't have to worry about that. You can just relax, be yourself, let your guard down, get to know some people.
Let people get to know you.
Oh, absolutely. It's so much fun.
And at that price, how much did you say?
It's less than $100 per person.
Man, that was like a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, well, like 20 minutes on a Tuesday afternoon, I can spend $200. So
it's doable.
Absolutely. What about you? What do you do to have fun?
I think fun for me kind of definitely changed from what used to be to now. It really like the first recovery convention that I went to. Like how many people? 2,000.
There's about 2,000, I think.
So I was the guy that whenever a party or something was going on, I would jump in the back of people's car and be like, let's go. Didn't have to know them. Like, you guys are going, let's go. I got in recovery and I was much more timid. Just couldn't really... I heard a bunch of people talking about this convention and I was like, yeah, I want to go there. And my sponsor's like, definitely go there. But I had this myth that, I'm alone most of my life. I had my addict telling me that how alone I am and how terminally unique I am, and no one can be like me, and I think we all suffer from something like that. And I always just felt this impending aloneness. And so I sat in the parking lot of this convention and calling my sponsor, calling people that I thought was in there, just wanting someone to walk in the threshold with me, walk into the convention. And let me tell you, when I finally got up enough courage to walk in, as far as I could see, people laughing, joking. There was people like committee members to like hug me and welcome me, and that was pretty cool because I really needed that initial walking in. I was so terrified, and it was like completely Mythbusters because the myth was busted. Because number one, as far as I could see, it was people having fun. It was a full weekend of just fun, and there were workshops, and there's a hot tub, and it's literally we take over this huge hotel that's connected to a convention, and it busted. The myth is busted. Out of all the things my addict can tell me today, it can't tell me that I'm alone, because at the end of that convention, I remember thinking, there's so many of me. I heard my story over and over and over, and my cup was filled so much that now we go to this every year. At the end of that convention, I remember setting up, saying, already getting the hotel and planning for the next one.
Yep.
And that's a big, big thing. And I got a lot of relationships and filled my phone up with a lot of people, and had a lot of fun there. And so that's a big, big thing for me. The convention, that myth was busted. There's a Facebook recovery group, Sober and Serious, that I'm an admin. One guy started this group that just kind of has ballooned to like 27,000 people. In the summer, they have a big camp out, literally take over this pavilion, and there's families as far as you can see, kids playing, like everyone kind of brings something, whether it be the bean bag. One year we had a high wire connected between two, trying to get on that and falling and hurting myself. There was all sorts of fun stuff to do. Again, it was just one day, but it was just, I remember taking the picture at the end, and as far as we could see, there was people, so it was almost like an aerial picture. Like, I think I was in there somewhere. It was just
a speck.
Yeah, just a speck, but how awesome is that? All the families and all the kids, and just we in recovery can have fun too. Like, we're not in the shadows anymore. So shout out to Sober and Serious for the barbecue they put on every year. I got a ton of connections through that, and people started inviting me to those places. So definitely really, really cool. Whirly Ball and the Human Foosball.
Oh.
Have you ever did the Human Foosball?
Yeah, we had that at one of the campouts up north too.
Funnest thing ever. How did your legs feel after?
Yeah, I couldn't really walk. I was, oh man, I was bruised up for 2 weeks.
But how fun is something like that?
It was so fun. Like, it was one of the most fun things I'd done and had to pay for that long in a long time.
And that's the whole thing, the laughing, the joking, and the memories that you create. They're just priceless. I can't express enough to just look. Go to meetings, go to sober events, and just put yourself out there like, hey, I'm not plugged in yet. And for a lot of you that have been in recovery for a while, this is kind of our challenge to you. Invite. Whenever you look over and see that person with the eyes like this, like what's going on, like early, don't say, hey, do you think you want to? Just say, I have a spot in my car open for you.
Yep,
You're coming with us to blank. Because a lot of times, what do we say?
I got something else going on. I got to sit in my room.
And then scroll to all the people having fun and start thinking about the good old days. Remember how good the good old days were? Yeah, prison's awesome. So the challenge to you guys is invite someone, whether it be a card game, whatever you got going on. Broaden your circle a little bit and invite someone that normally that has that look on their face, because you could be really, really saving their lives.
Right.
And what about the challenge you have?
Oh, my challenge is get out there and plan one of these weekends. Get some people together that are in recovery and come up with a plan, execute one of these weekends, and
it doesn't have to start big.
No, you could do like couple couples in a few hotel rooms at a water park, whatever. It's not really about what you do. It's about who you're with.
100%. And they get to know you, and it is huge. The fun in recovery, it's really helping other people that myth bust the myth that we can't have fun, and we can't laugh till our cheeks hurt and our stomach literally hurts from laughing. Like, you know how many times that I've got done on a weekend and been like, I had such a blast, but my cheeks hurt, like, from laughing.
Right. And you can, wake up the next day and think about it instead of puke your guts out.
And remember it.
And remember what the heck happened.
Bonus. So remember, comment, like, share, and subscribe, and remember that you're not alone, and always, as always, fight the good fight
and keep it clean.